Ladies and gentlemen, in my last segment, I talked about a New York Post article addressing the fact that Hunter converted Biden's home in Wilmington into a home office. Okay, nothing wrong with that. People have home offices and they're fantastic. However, if you are selling access to the United States government, it becomes a big problem. So if your emails show communication where other people are saying, this is almost verbatim from the New York Post, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? Then it's a problem. Then you have an issue. Okay, then there's a big problem. And so the Washington Examiner article, Biden notebooks found in FBI search might have referenced classified information. This is a Washington Examiner article, and it talks about how classified data was summarized. Okay? Classified data was summarized. So you had classified data in a garage next to a Corvette. Very nice Corvette, by the way. Then the question is, well, how did it go missing? If he was a senator, he didn't have the power to declassify anything. So there goes the vice presidents can declassify under President Obama's executive order defense. He did not have the power to declassify, unlike Trump, who could declassify anything. He was the commander-in-chief. Biden was not. And especially he wasn't as senator. So you have classified data, you have the Federal Bureau of Investigation searching, and I stated that they were doing that even before, not that I had any knowledge, I understand politics, I understand the way these government agencies work, and I said that they were going to investigate and raid his homes and properties very soon. The day that all the articles came out saying, Department of Justice decides against sending the Bureau because he was cooperating, I said, that's nonsense. They're going to send the Bureau because they have to. It's a criminal investigation. The Department of Justice doesn't open up anything but criminal investigations. Generally, the Bureau only opens up criminal investigations. So, you have Biden notebooks found in FBI search might have referenced classified information. Now, this is how Nancy Pelosi beat the S&P 500 in 2008. I talked about this. Okay? You get information, and then there's insider trading from that information. And for some reason, Congress people, both the Democrats and Republicans, are very good at getting out of it. Whereas anyone else, you saw what happened to Martha Stewart years back, anyone else would be convicted or prosecuted for insider trading. So they're able to utilize classified data in the stock market. The classified data is obviously information that the journalists, publications, pundits, experts, analysts, they don't have. Okay, so then they buy and sell stocks based on the information that they know, that they're privy to, that nobody else does. Classified briefings, documents. Okay, that's how the Congress people get very wealthy in the stock market. The Clintons, for example, with their wonderful philanthropic organization, their fantastic foundation, got hundreds of millions of dollars, and coincidentally, fantastic uranium deal to our mortal enemies was sanctioned. Only President Obama could have stopped that deal, according to Snopes, and he didn't for some reason. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, so Democrats, what they do, it's a political machine, and it's called honest graft. They've been doing this. They use government to enrich themselves. It is, generally, you're not supposed to enrich yourself from taxpayer money. You can't really do that, but what they do is they have all the benefits of being a Democrat, having only positive media coverage generally, and now they have government agencies like the Bureau and others with loyalists that defend Democrats. So you had a story about Hunter, and that story was suppressed and silenced 2 years ago. We couldn't make an informed decision as a country, even though we knew the laptop was real. Every time the truth about the Democratic Party comes out, people vote Trump. So they turned that into a national security nightmare or risk. Hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. Share this segment everywhere. The classified data was summarized. The summary of this classified data could have been used for business deals. That's a huge crime. And it's all over. New York Post, Washington Examiner, Chuck Grassley, Jim Jordan, James Comer, they're all saying the same things. That they utilize classified data. Ron Johnson is the man. Love Ron Johnson for many reasons. Along with DeSantis and Trump, obviously I'm voting for Trump. But the point is, if Trump had this or any of his children had this, they would have been indicted immediately. Immediately. Because the people defending the president and Hunter and Bill and Hillary don't know the nuances of these stories like I do, like you do. Okay, watching this channel or reading up on it. And so they don't realize that, okay, a senator doesn't have the ability to declassify. We'll get to that in a second. Hit subscribe, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every single day on this channel. I'll have videos, and then throughout the day, I'm going to try to have some really awesome collaborations every week, every month, very soon, within the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to work on that, spice up the channel, bring some life to the channel. I used to have debates and interviews. I think I'm going to do more interviews now, or discussions. Not so much debates, although I love debates. I did very well in my debates. You could see extremely well. You can see on my website, hagoodman.com. You can also read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications, and become part of a newsletter there. But I will be spicing up the channel. We'll start getting some pretty awesome collaborations and live streams with some amazing people. Anyway, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. become part of the Patreon. Your support is so greatly appreciated. That's below. And super thanks is below. And become a member also. So this is going to lead to either a plea deal or an indictment for Hunter based on the crimes that they're just investigating. The criminal probe, the federal criminal probe, by the way, that was ongoing while they impeached Trump. Think about that for a second. They were impeaching Trump in 2019 as a criminal probe was taking place with Hunter that linked Joe directly into everything. Okay? The issue is selling access to the United States government. Trump was never accused of that. He was accused of working with another country to tell the truth about Democrats. And then that was a national security big national security issue. Okay, the truth was Bernie Sanders was cheated. That was the truth. Bernie Sanders was railroaded. We learned that through the DNC emails, and then they created this elaborate plot where another country was infiltrating the DNC. Why? To literally inform you that Bernie Sanders wasn't being treated fairly. And he couldn't even admit that. It's unbelievable. The racket on the left is like unbelievable. But anyway, then they suspended and silenced the New York Post. So who are the authoritarians here? Who are the people who are the tyrants and the totalitarians? Who are the people that want to erase the First and Second Amendments and then apparently the Fourth Amendment with Trump and Mar-a-Lago? But they're going after Biden and they're finding summarized classified data. This is huge. This is a huge story, people. It's a huge... He couldn't do that if he was senator. There's no reason to summarize classified data unless you're going to sell it. So there's a possibility that through the summary, they sold the classified data. So 9 minutes in, they could have easily... So Trump was being accused of selling classified data. The reality is the Bidens almost certainly did that in a roundabout way or directly. Okay, the difference between like Aldrich Ames and Robert Hansen literally selling classified data to the Soviets. This is treason. That's treason. What Democrats do is not necessarily that. what they'll do is they won't really sell the classified data. They'll summarize it, put it in note cards or a notebook, and then kind of allude to it during business deals. And then government agencies and intel agencies will say, well, they didn't really sell the classified data. They were just using the information to facilitate business transactions. I mean, is it really a big national security problem? Of course, if anyone around Trump did that, they'd go to Alcatraz immediately. But that's what happened. So the Washington Examiner, New York Post articles, all of the articles talking about this, NBC News even, this is a huge issue. It's taking down the presidency, and this is almost certainly by design. I think Hillary Clinton wanted everything to be morally relative, the Clintonian moral spectrum, where they had servers. By the way, what Clinton did is 1 trillion times worse than what Biden did. And what Biden did is 1,000,000 times worse than what Trump did, which he didn't do anything. That's why they didn't indict him. If they're not indicting Biden or Hunter now for this, it's because they're Democrats. They didn't indict Trump because there was nothing there. Or as the Democrats, there's no there. There's no there. By the way, I always want to tell everybody, God bless you. Only love, left, right, center, Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter. Libertarian, Green Party, Socialist, Communist, supporting Trump. I'm voting for Trump in 24. Okay, I want a better economy and a better foreign policy. We had objectively a better foreign policy and a better economy under Trump. Objectively, you would have to just despise him so much that you want to spend $20 for one egg. So that's obviously, I'm hyperbolic there, but that's another story. But it doesn't matter who you are. If you're watching, God bless you and thank you. It doesn't matter where you are on the political spectrum. I'm not into tribalism. I don't put politics above friendship like some maniacs out there. I shouldn't even say the maniacs. You know what? People who, for a moment, lack integrity or character, putting politics above friendship because they're so ignorant to the vast criminality and corruption on their political side. God bless those people, too. The point is, it's all love, no matter who you are. If you're watching this channel, I appreciate it very much. Thank you. They could be selling, they could have sold classified data. And that's a problem. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you. Oh, be here throughout the day. I'll have uploads throughout the day. Important ones.